What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update, giving you all the latest ins, outs and contract news with Manchester City for you to look forward to. Make sure, like always though, if you're enjoying the content, then make sure you subscribe, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. We're aiming for 5,500 subscribers. Any help towards that will be much appreciated. At the time of recording, we're only 18 subscribers away, so any help towards that will be much appreciated. You can check out my social media links, which you can find in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find my email in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video and also let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So we're going to crack on with this video and we're going to start off with the ins, and it comes in the form of a new name. Inter Milan 20-year-old centre-back Alessandro Bastoni. Now apparently Manchester City and Barcelona are having a good look at him. This is made over the last few days or so. Apparently Manchester City have made an inquiry over to Inter Milan and they've been told immediately no, he isn't for sale. The Daily Mail have been reporting that Barcelona and Manchester City could both be weighing up a move for this summer. But I reckon at 20 years old, it's probably going to be a very expensive player. Now, I sense that this may be a little ploy by the player's agent, put some interest, Barcelona and Manchester City, for this young lad to get a new contract at Inter Milan. Inter Milan will want to starve off interest and he'll get a pay rise. Everyone's a winner. That's kind of where they're aiming for. But if this was genuine and City were weighing up a move, I'm not too sure that it would make sense for City. I mean, if we signed him this January, he wouldn't have to be registered, obviously, because he's under the age of 21. But it'd cost a lot of money, and I can't see City doing that. He's a left-sided centre-back, so basically Aymeric Laporte's position. So he's not going to displace Aymeric Laporte, so he's going to be playing a rotated role at Manchester City with Aymeric Laporte. Now, I don't understand why we'd break the bank for a player that a right-sided centre-back is much more needed. A Vincent Kompany Mark II, basically, is what we're trying to sign. I mean, I just don't understand why we'd go for a left-sided centre-back. It literally would be playing a rotated option to Aymeric Laporte, because this player at this moment in time isn't as good as what Laporte is. So I don't know. I don't understand. If City are wanting a little bit of rotated option for Laporte, I don't understand why we don't just go in for Nathan Ake. Ake would be cheaper. He's left-sided too. He's homegrown. Can also play at left back too. So Pep likes a versatile player. I just don't understand really. But I feel like City get linked with players, we slightly overcomplicate transfers and we have a look, instead of going for the simpler, easier option, we weigh up our options and we either end up doing one of two things, either looking to try and make a move and then not signing the player, or we just simply don't make a move at all and then we're left thinking, why have we not moved in for a player? It's quite obvious that we need a centre-back, we're needing more cover. You'd think that it would be high on the agenda, yet City seem very quiet in this transfer market, and the players that we are getting linked with are either extremely expensive or extremely young, and City, we're trying to find a happy medium. So it's very difficult though. It's very difficult for me to try and break fact from fiction for these transfers, but in terms of Alessandro Bastoni, I sense that it's probably more fiction rather than fact for us. But like I said, I find the linking and the timing of this transfer just a little bit unusual and a little bit strange. Like, I reckon the players, or the agent, should I say, of the player, is probably aiming for a new contract, and so that's the direction that they're aiming for. And like I said, it's difficult to be able to break down fact from fiction, but to me, I sense a little bit of fiction more than fact in this transfer. And speaking of fact and fiction, brings us very nicely onto Bruno Fernandes. Back in the news with Manchester United, back in the news getting linked with a move to Man City too. Now, a source in Portugal, not the most reliable source, I will say, have been saying that Manchester City are taking a good look at Bruno Fernandes. The source is saying that Manchester City want to sign him for €100 million, so somewhere between 85 to 90 million pounds. Sky Sports were reporting the other day that Manchester United were close to agreeing a £68 million deal to bring Bruno Fernandes. These rumours have continued, by the way, so I don't understand why City would be paying £20 million more. Now, apparently this move for Bruno Fernandes to go to Manchester United has stalled over the last a day or two, as I presume it is Sporting Lisbon looking for more money. Now, we know that Manchester City were very interested in the summer in bringing Bruno Fernandes in, but they were put off by Sporting Lisbon continuing to put up the price to bring Bruno Fernandes to City, and so City ended up looking at alternative options and chose in the end not to bring in a player. That's the situation that we're in very much now. It's still the same. Now, David Silva will be leaving Manchester City, and it wouldn't surprise me if City are looking at attacking midfielders like Bruno Fernandes, but I just don't see us making a move, not for this price. We've got a good working relationship with Sporting Lisbon. Of course, City's got a partnership with Sporting Lisbon. That doesn't mean they're not going to try and flinch us for everything that they can. And if we did want to bring Bruno Fernandes into City, then it'd be a difficult transfer to get done, because they know that as soon as they get close to agreeing a deal, Sporting Lisbon are just going to, like they are here, fabricate claims that clubs are interested and try and just boost that price up just a little bit more as they're trying to max out, basically, because Sporting Lisbon are struggling a little bit for money. They remind me very much of how Napoli negotiate with players. It's very difficult to be able to get a transfer done, and it does put teams off moving for their players. Now, one thing City could do, it was being mentioned that City could make a move, sign him for £86 million, bring him in, then loan him back to Sporting Lisbon, then have him for the summer. But if we're going to sign a player for £86 million, you're going to want him there and then, and you're going to want him to settle in very quickly, and you're going to want him to be the missing link that Man City are looking for. And to me, that just isn't what we're looking for. It isn't the answer, and I won't be spending £86 million. That's just my opinion. Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva are more than capable, if we're looking for replacements for David Silva, of doing a job, and I feel like the money could be better used, for example, in a hole that we have got at centre-back, and I'd rather we'd spent the extra bit of money there, if I'm completely honest. And so I just don't understand. But if City were to bring in Bruno Fernandes, so surely signing him on a pre-contract agreement would work better than us signing him now and then loaning him. To me, the whole story just, well, smells of fiction, in my opinion. Now, what I'm sensing from this move is that Sporting Lisbon, they're trying to get Manchester United to pay more. They're putting Manchester City's name out there. We won't be the only club, I'm sure, that we put out there, but they'll put it out in the Portuguese press, of course, done on purpose by Sporting Lisbon, to try and fabricate some interest in their player, to make it look like there's a transfer battle on their hands. And whilst a £68 million deal for Manchester United sounds great, they're obviously looking for more towards £80 million, and this is their way of trying to force Manchester United to do that. Now, Manchester United over the last few transfer windows have buckled and ended up paying it. Harry Maguire, for example, City were confident £60 to £70 million, United ended up paying £80+ million. So this is another situation where it's going to test how strong Manchester United are in the market and how desperate they are, and that's what Sporting Lisbon are relying upon, and therefore using Manchester City's name in this situation. And we have a partnership with Sporting Lisbon. Whilst I love Man United getting ripped off, what I don't like is City's name being put out there for a fabricated claim, just for you to earn extra bucks, basically. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to know your thoughts of it in the comments below, but I'm almost certain this is fiction, in my opinion. Now, we're going to move on to the outs, and it comes in the form of Leroy Sane. Now, Kicker, a source close to Bayern Munich, are reporting that it's going to be quite difficult for them to get the Leroy Sane deal done, because Leroy Sane has now got a new agent. And their reporting in Kicker is saying that even in the summer it's going to be difficult for Leroy Sane to make the move to Bayern Munich, because it's basically beginning the deal again. They're going to have to do new negotiations. It takes time. This new agent might be asking for more money. It just becomes more and more complicated and more difficult. Bayern Munich were getting linked earlier with signing Leroy Sane this month. I'm extremely confident that Leroy Sane will still be a Manchester City player by the time the January winter window shuts in a couple of weeks' time. But it's going to be quite complicated. What I'm hoping for here is Leroy Sane applies himself, has a really good run of games for Manchester City, puts in some solid performances, and there is a compromise on his new deal. We get him a new deal, he stays at Manchester City, transfer saga over. I'd like to know your thoughts of that again in the comments below. So there we go, that has been the video. Not too many stories, but there's lots to mention, lots to talk about, and a direction that we're getting for the winter window. I'm hoping things are going to start warming up as the week goes on. It'll be interesting to see when or how Manchester City are going to make moves in this market. I'm expecting a couple of outgoings. If City do end up selling a first-team player that isn't a homegrown player, then things are going to get very interesting. I'm going to keep you up to date with everything happening in the latest Manchester City transfer news, so make sure you subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, put your push notifications on to be notified immediately when I upload, so you can stay in the loop as quickly as possible with all things Man City news, JSGC news and Manchester City transfer news. too. Running daily transfer videos, so worthwhile subscribing. Check out my social media links, Twitter and Instagram in description below and popping up on screen too. I'll keep you up to date, retweeting sources, tweeting everything happening about Manchester City and posting stuff on Instagram, so worthwhile following me on there. If you can, any help in numbers gains on there would be much appreciated. You can check out my email also in the description below for any general business inquiries or any sponsorships or any videos too. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer updates. So I've been JSGC. I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.